Right, let's just dive straight into this explainer. Today we're tackling a question that's probably been driving you crazy. Why do our daily interactions with AI so often just fall flat? We're pulling some absolutely brilliant insights from a piece by Jin Lee, founder of Peconaqri Inc. And Lee introduces this concept that completely, and I mean literally completely, reframes how we talk to artificial intelligence. We're ditching the technical jargon today. Instead, we're focusing purely on human intention. So the big question we're exploring is this. Are you prompting in NPC mode? Because we've all been there, right? You sit down, you type a request into your favorite AI, hit enter, and wait. And the response you get is, well, it's just fine. Or maybe it's super generic, like it kind of addresses a version of what you asked, but it totally misses the actual problem you're trying to solve. It gives you a list of things you already knew in a format you definitely didn't ask for. It's that incredibly frustrating experience where the answer is technically correct, but practically useless. And honestly, when that happens, it is so tempting to just close the tab and think, well, AI just isn't that smart yet. But hold on. What if the AI isn't failing at all? What if the problem is literally entirely on our end? So that brings us to section 1, the digital drift, and why AI misses the mark. Let's unpack the real root cause of all this frustration. Lee uses this perfect video game metaphor to describe our bad habits. NPC, or non-player character. Think about it. In a game, an NPC just sort of wanders around blindly, reacts to whatever's in front of it, and, occasionally walks face first into a wall, over and over. When we use AI in NPC mode, we are literally doing the exact same thing. We open up the chat, type whatever vague thought pops into our head first, hit enter, and just cross our fingers hoping the AI will miraculously read our minds. We're handing it a vague request and expecting this highly precise masterpiece. It is exactly like asking someone to navigate to a buried treasure, but refusing to give them a map. We are engaging in what Lee brilliantly calls digital drift. But then there's the alternative, PC mode, or player character mode. A player character makes deliberate choices, right? They direct the action. And stepping up to take control of your AI interactions with that level of intention, it changes the whole game. Instead of tossing out some random vague thought, you're providing clear coordinates. You're asking real, focused questions. You aren't drifting anymore, you are directing. But to really grasp why this shift from NPC to PC mode is such a massive game changer for the output you get, we kind of need to look under the hood of how these tools actually work. Which leads us right to section 2, context is currency. Let's look at the mechanics of large language models like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Jin Lee outlines this foundational rule for the space, and it's just so good. Every piece of context you provide is an investment in precision. Every ambiguous term is a tax on the quality of the response. Think about that for a second. The absolute crucial point here is that AI tools are navigating a vast, unimaginably huge probability space of language and patterns. They don't think like you and I do. They predict, based strictly on the parameters we give them. So context is the literal currency that buys you a precise answer. If you refuse to spend that currency, the AI defaults to a statistical average. It just gives you the most generic, middle-of-the-road mush possible, simply because you didn't give it any boundaries. So when you throw a vague prompt at the AI, you're basically dropping it into this massive, blank, undifferentiated territory. It has zero coordinates, so it wanders around blindly and brings back whatever boring generic average it bumps into first. But by adding concepts, goals, and constraints, you drastically shrink that territory. You hand the AI a highly specific, relevant map. Suddenly, it's no longer pulling from the general average. It's exploring and answering from within the exact defined space that you built for it. All right, moving to section 3, naked versus dressed prompts. Now, right about now, you might be thinking, okay, if context is currency, does that mean every single time I open my AI app, I have to deposit some massive essay-length prompt? Like, does this mean every short, snappy prompt is just inherently bad? And that's a totally fair question. Nobody has the time to spend 20 minutes writing a prompt just to knock out a 2-minute task. But the answer is a resounding no. The real secret to efficient AI use is incredibly simple. Length is not the variable. Context is. A short prompt dropped into the middle of a rich, ongoing conversation is often the exact perfect tool for the job. The real issue isn't word count. The issue is whether the prompt is appropriately dressed for the specific job at hand, or if it's just out there wandering around completely naked and lacking direction. Let's break that down a bit more. A quick, short prompt works perfectly when the task is super simple or when the context is already heavily established. Like if you've been chatting with the AI for 10 minutes about a new marketing plan and you just type summarize the above in 5 bullet points, that is absolutely fine. The AI knows exactly what the above means. On the flip side, you absolutely must dress your prompt with heavy context when the task is complex, when it really depends on your specific audience, or when there's a huge risk of getting useless garbage back. If you want the AI to actually think with you, rather than just generically answering for you, you have to establish those guardrails first. To make this super concrete, let's look at 3 classic examples of naked prompts that will reliably misfire basically every single time. Number 1, should I change careers now? 2, help me design a learning sequence. Or 3, write me something persuasive. I mean, if you use bare requests for complex, highly personal goals like these, you are leaving the AI entirely in the dark. It has way too much room to guess. It doesn't know your skills, your financial situation, who on earth you're trying to persuade, or what your definition of success even is. So what does it do? It fills in the gaps with statistical inference, and you end up with advice that reads like a generic self-help blog from 2012. Let's hit section 4, the shift to PC mode. The really good news here is that shifting out of this reactive state is entirely in your control. Because shifting from NPC to PC mode isn't some super technical, advanced coding skill. It is literally just a habit of attention. Before your fingers even hit the keyboard, just take a 10-second pause. Ask yourself 3 quick questions. 1, what do I actually need from this interaction? 2, what does the AI absolutely need to know to help me do this well? And 3, what does a genuinely useful response actually look like here? Are you wanting a bulleted list, a really playful brainstorm, a harsh critique? Just by asking those 3 simple questions, you fundamentally shift your whole posture. You stop drifting and you finally start directing the game. Which brings us to the ultimate rule you should take away from this explainer today. If you remember nothing else, keep this maxim in your head for all future AI interactions. No naked prompts when the task is one that genuinely needs them dressed. It is a simple rule, but I promise you it will completely transform the quality of the work you produce alongside AI. When the task actually matters, take the time to build the coordinates. Give the AI the map it meets to find the exact solution you're after. Now, obviously, knowing that you need to build context is one thing. Knowing how to do it efficiently without wasting hours writing long essays is a completely different story. Jinli actually developed a 6-element system called the QCraft framework that lets you build this incredibly powerful context in under 3 minutes. So my final question for you is this. If the quality of your AI output is entirely dependent on the quality of your human intention, are you ready to finally stop drifting and start crafting? What do you think the QCraft framework will actually reveal? Well, that is a topic for another day. But until then, take that pause, set your coordinates, and step confidently into PC mode.